Visit an American League ballpark that has a huge fountain as its icon. Know which park it is? We'll show you right after this break.
Major League Baseball's opening day on the Travel Channel.
It's not every day that you get some good, solid ballpark restroom stats. Welcome back. I'm Pat Sajak, and we're about to continue our tour of some of the American League's greatest baseball parks. Now, taking a ballpark tour is a way of adding a fun activity to your plans when you visit any city with a major league team. Now, I'm a huge baseball fan, but even if you're not, you'll see there's lots to do at a ballpark, even if there isn't a game. As we showed you earlier, here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards, the railroad warehouse was worked into the ballpark's design and reflects the railroad history of Baltimore. Our next stop is in the heart of America, Kansas City, Missouri, where they too took the opportunity to include an icon in their ballpark that's also symbolic of their city.
The reason ballparks are so individual is that they have wacky architecture sometimes, or classic architecture. But in Kansas City, they put two fountains by the scoreboard out in center field. You can't mistake it for any other ballpark. If you're ever watching a game on television and you see a shot of Kauffman Field, you know that's Kansas City.
In fact, I think that's the best single feature of any ballpark anywhere, those fountains, because not only are they beautiful, they reflect the character of the city.
Joe's right. Even though Kansas City, Missouri is the smallest market in Major League Baseball, it boasts having more fountains than any other city in the world except Rome. My team of ballpark experts has chosen Kauffman Stadium for a tour because it was a trendsetter. Just like Oriole Park here in Baltimore, Kauffman is a baseball-only facility. But what's remarkable is that the designers realized the importance of a baseball-only facility way back in 1973.
I remember flying over Kansas City and seeing what looked like two spaceships that landed next to each other, and I was like, what is that? And then I learned that there was a football stadium next to a baseball stadium, and I said, how dumb is that? And then I've subsequently realized that that's the key, because if you don't try to have these multi-use 1970 concrete donuts with the plastic grass so you can play football and baseball, you get to build a real baseball park.
Truly, Kauffman Stadium was 2 decades at least ahead of its time in being a baseball-only park and having the wonderful creature comforts, the open concourse, all the things that are happening in ballparks today. They owe a lot to Kansas City for coming up with those concepts.
What's unique about Kauffman Stadium is the fountains take such a prominent place in the outfield. About 39 of the 42,000 seats are actually between the foul poles, and which makes it a pretty interesting way to watch the game.
To me, it almost has a minor league feel to it, but it's a major league stadium.
It's a major league stadium that's considered to have the best visibility for batters. And that's ironic when you consider that in 1973, the year the park opened, it was the site of a no-hitter from a visiting pitcher named Nolan Ryan. Ryan notched his first big league no-hitter at Kauffman, but that opening season in the new ballpark also marked the rookie season of one of the Royals and baseball's greatest hitters, George Brett. Brett played his entire career as a Kansas City Royal and was league MVP in 1980. If you visit the park, you can see many of the Royals' trophies on display, along with the World Series trophy won in 1985. Kauffman Stadium, along with its sister facility, Arrowhead Stadium, make up the Truman Sports Complex. Now, 2 notable changes have occurred since its construction. One, in 1993, the name of the facility was changed from Royal Stadium to Kauffman Stadium, after its owner, Kansas City entrepreneur Ewing Kauffman. The second change was the switch to natural grass from the original artificial turf.
For years, I vowed I wouldn't go to a ballpark that had plastic grass. But in '95, to their credit, they ripped it out and they put the good stuff down. So now you have a really great ballpark.
As a fan, there's nothing like going to a game and seeing the beautifully manicured field. But according to Kauffman Stadium's groundskeeper, Trevor Vance, having a beautiful grass field is just for show.
The game's played in the dirt. 70% of baseball is played in dirt. So the grass is really a background. And the game's played in the dirt. And that's the most important part of a baseball field, is maintaining the dirt.
Kauffman Stadium, like many of the older facilities, lacks some of the areas that could generate revenue for its owners. They tried to maximize every inch of real estate they could.
One of the things that we did is went in behind home plate and excavated to create the Crown Club. And while they were in the process of creating the Crown Club and the Crown seats, which are very special and brings the fan closer to home plate than the pitcher is, they expanded down the lines and excavated at the same time to create the dugout suites.
And those dugout suites give fans the same line of sight as the players on the bench.
If you get a chance to look closely at the walls in the dugout suites, however, you'll see signs warning our fans, and we tell them every night, please don't turn your back to the ball. Watch what's going on in the game, because they get very hot, not in a sense of temperature, but in terms of the speed of oncoming projectiles that regularly come into the dugout suites.
Okay, it's time to take a little break, but here's something to consider. Have you ever had a sleepover at a ballpark? Well, if you're visiting the ballpark in Arlington, Texas, you may want to. We'll tell you all about it when our tour of American League ballparks continues. You're going to like this. Hello, is your refrigerator running? Well, you better hurry and catch it. I love kidding those bullpen guys. No, I don't need a pitcher. No, thanks. Bye.